Yeah, happy to. Morning, Theo. I'm Sumya, founder of DigiTouch. My project in NGI Enrichers is about immersive reality. So we are creating a platform through which any immersive reality content creator can monetize their content. And the way it is related to NGI is that it brings three main pieces of next generation internet: cybersecurity, data privacy, and of course, extended reality or immersive reality. And we are also in line with the European Commission's vision about inclusiveness. So we want to democratize virtual reality or immersive reality for everybody. So that's one of the goals of the project as well.
I am Alessandro Palumbo. I am from Rome. I studied in Rome, and then when I received my PhD in Rome at the University of Tor Vergata, I moved to Milano, to the Politecnico di Milano. I applied to the first call of NG program last March, I guess, yes. My project, the subject of my project is the security, much in detail the hardware security. It has been demonstrated that by looking some features of microprocessor, like temperature, like timing, like some features of the microprocessor running a program, it has been demonstrated that by looking those features, an attacker may understand some data of the processor. So maybe that data may be, privacy data, sensitive data. So in the state of art, there are a lot of antiviruses, basically. But most of them are software. So there are some programs that are able to detect if an attacker is running an attack, basically. The challenge of my project is implement an hardware antivirus. So basically a physical component to add to microprocessor in order to detect if there is an attack or not, but by looking some features. So but it will be hardware, so an attacker cannot uninstall that software to protect the microprocessor.
I'm Iris Cuevas. I'm from Spain, and my project based of try to compare, exchange different techniques and AI algorithm about trust that the data quality and the reliability of air quality data are enough good for made different applications based on air quality, like for example, manage traffic, made new factories, and of course, assure the quality of the life of citizens in the middle of the city.
So hi, Martin Serrano is my name. I work for the National University of Ireland in Galway, and I am a research scientist, and I also lead a small group of researchers. My project is called C-Bridge, and precisely C for collaboration and Bridge to establish mechanisms and methodologies between the two institutions. I am working with the National Institute for Standards and Technology, and the project is about defining a methodology that any researcher or any scientist can use for developing and transforming knowledge into actionable products. So it's one of the challenges that we have around the world. It's very difficult to transform outcomes and results from a scientific activity, but make it as a product. So in collaboration with the Institute of Technology, National Institute of Technology, so we are developing this methodology.
As I am based in the Netherlands, with my project Splendor Health, we are working on a platform to assess the cardiovascular health of patients using non-invasive sensors. Currently we are working with Temple to bring our project to the hospital and start trying it out there. So Temple is hosting us there and supplying patients for the project and is allowing us to try out a project on real-life patients. The techniques we use in our platform are connected to next generation internet. They are next generation techniques to make our platform used for patients and doctors, and make it secure as well, because it's patient health information, so it needs to be secure.
Hello everyone, I'm Omid Esrafilian. I'm a research engineer at Eurocom in south of France. So as we can see in the recent years, so there is a convergence between radio communications field, namely with the emergence of the 5G and 6G. We can clearly see the convergence between robotics and communications. However, there is a gap between these two communities because as you make the systems more complicated by including the radio devices into the robots, it's very hard to predict what would be the performance of these complicated systems. And nowadays there is this missing tool between these two communities. So there's no tool that you can precisely predict what will be the performance of these complicated systems. Throughout this project, we are going to develop an emulator that can give you a good estimation of the performance of your complicated systems, including the radio devices and also robots. And the reason that I chose my host, which is Northeastern University in the US, is because Northeastern University is the home for the largest 5G emulator, and they are using an open source implementation of 5G developed by our university at Eurocom. And I think that can create an interesting and beneficial collaboration between two institutes. And that was the main reason I chose. And also because of our previous works of integrated robotics and communications, that again can be another reason that this collaboration can be very interesting. And the why is related to NGI, as the name of NGI, which is Next Generation Internet, implies, is all about the internet, and we know 5G and 6G and radio communications is all about, again, it's related to the internet. So this is a good fit, and I found actually this community and this program would be very related to our project, and I'm really thankful to NGI that they provide this support that I can complete and get this project done.
So I'm Dor Jacobi. I am a PhD student in Tel Aviv University, and our lab, it's called the Selenmon Lab. We try to sense the environment through wireless signals. We have wireless signals everywhere, like 4G, 5G networks. So we learn how to exploit the signals to learn about the environment. If I give you the basic example, that rain attenuates the signal level. So instead of taking this as an interruption in the network, we exploit this error to measure rain. So we have, instead of wireless networks, we have sensors all over the earth, actually, especially in urban countries. And from these sensors, we hope to exploit information on the environment, and it's a big project. Like in my lab, we already do it. It's not something that needs to prove. So specifically what I do, and I did in my master's, I learned patterns from the signal on how to predict the future of the signal, of the future behavior of the signal, and how it will behave for different causes. So with the project with Columbia, that is Columbia, it's my host university, specifically WIMNet Lab, it's on the host is Gil Zussman. They specifically deal with the signals from 5G networks, and they have a lot of more than the networking side. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna exploit like unique data sets from new generation internet, that it's open new opportunities in all the topic of new frequency bands, all the area of short in city links, because the 5G and the new generation internet will be characterized by different style of networks than what we have today. So for me, it's different kind of information of how to sense the environment and new opportunities. For example, the resolution of the samples, for example, the spatial resolution that all the city will be covered like smart cities. We deal with data from smart cities as well. So it's a new opportunity to learn about the environment. And more specifically, what we're going to do in the project is take my area of research is the prediction side to the application side. So how to exploit the predictions to improve the network, so prevent disasters in some case. If the network, for example, provides some data to autonomous cars, for example, it's really on the application side. So we want to prevent a drop on the signal level that can cause a disaster, for example. But it can be taken from a lot of applications. For example, flash flood warning that we do in Israel. We can do it in other locations because, as I said, the sensors have different spatial spread, like countrywide, and special like the information can be exploited where other kinds of measurement tools cannot provide yet.
Yes, our host organization is Arizona State University.
I hope I will go to ICSI in Berkeley, the UC Berkeley University.
My host organization called Libellium. Libellium is a worldwide company made IoT products, and of course just now made other products like cloud spaces and software as a service. Try to resolve some specific smart cities problems like for example pollution event, pollen detection, low emission zone management.
The National Institute for Standards and Technology is a government institution and directly connects with the Department of Commerce. And in this way, it facilitates that any methodology or any standard that is tested scientifically or proven in a deployment manner, so can be adopted as a standard. They describe or they publish the technical reports that later are considered as a reference in the industry. So back in 2021, we published a small standard which is called HKPI framework. And on top of that, we are now developing implementation and reference implementation. So NGI Enrichers is facilitating this demonstration.
By going to Temple University to try out our product.
Which is Northeastern University in the US.
I will get to work more face-to-face to all the WinNet lab in Columbia University.
Yeah, so in this case, I think the main benefit would be to show our technology to some potential customers or partners in US and try to raise funding. And the long-term goal is to set up next office of DigiTouch in US focusing on this technology. So I think NGI is the right platform to set up this EU-US collaboration through the networks of ASU.
I don't know. I mean, I am very excited to part. I mean, Berkeley, it's in California, so it's the American dream, I guess. I don't know. I am very excited. I am sure that I will confront with a lot of expertise there in one of the most famous universities in the world. I think from the NGI I will have the possibility to extend my background, my expertise, I hope, and and I will have the possibility to travel. I mean, to how can I say, to know other society, other habits in it, I don't know. Okay, and confront with them in order to, I mean, understand and compare, with mine and with the Italian, stuff. Yes.
Of course, that programs that the different than the previous one is based on more topics. Of course, environment, air quality, exchange experience, methodologies, and the result is met standards or by the different standards between different transatlantic technologies and methodologies. And that's the main part that is the value that give to NGI from my research. NGI give us platform, recruiters, mentorships to assure that all your steps, all your meetings, all the different key tasks that you made here in Europe and then in North America made grateful, and of course you can find your KPIs. In my case, give me the capability to find new people, new experts that give me this international and this new point of view about what other organizations like MIT, that's my host organization there, made for validate sensors, validate air quality data frames, and of course all is linked with AI, algorithm, and internet. Not only in the base of technologies, it's more open concept.
The NGI Enrichers is facilitating that models, mathematical models, or even methodologies can be implemented, can be exchanged, and also can be in a collaborative environment implemented. I found very interesting this particular call, because by having the funding, we are able to travel to the US, we are able to interview and talk with our collaborators, and in this way they facilitate the advance of these methodologies and this process.
By going to Temple University to try out our product, I think we can see it in action in real life. Right now we have indirect feedback from other customers, but to see it with my own eyes, to see how it's interacting with the doctors and the patients, I think it can give us feedback that otherwise might be lost in translation. For myself also, it's very good to build a network of people in the same field with the same ideas, build on each other, help each other.
So the first outcome would be, and the first support that the support that provided by NGI, so we can get this project done and we can complete our project what we expected actually and expecting in this project and this project proposal. And another benefits of NGI and this program is that it enables me to go and explore the big market in the US if later we want to make it to a product, or if we want to sell it to different customers or different institutions. And that would be a great, I guess, benefits of this program.
Of course, one side is the algorithmic side. I will get to work more face-to-face to all the Wilmette Lab in Columbia University. We expect there to keep developing also the algorithmic side of how we're going to do it, because it's never the same to work remotely and to work daily with researchers, and to get in to know each other and to work together about our algorithms. And it's both about also the second aspect is more about data sharing and data availability. As I said, they have a unique data set in this lab. And so they have data set, for example, they deploy antennas for experiments for 5G data. The project is called Cosmos. They have a big project on that. We have a new data from NYC Mesh. So we have a lot of data sharing opportunities with this project, that we can take the data that we have to see how can we learn from what we did up to now and to integrate their data on the new generation data to learn about the environment more, or to develop the proactive approach, but more to the application side as well, that we can also connect to networking side, that this is really beneficial when we work with them. Because they are more in the networking side, we are more in sensing the environment. So the collaboration here, it's very important, both on the algorithmic and sharing the data sets.